What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Plaza Games, where you get your weekly dose of video game news. I almost drew a blank there, bro. Of course, you're watching the Entertainment Plaza podcast, where you can catch us live every week on twitch.tv/the Entertainment Plaza. And if you can't catch us live or don't want to catch us live, you can catch us on youtube.com/the Entertainment Plaza about an hour afterwards. And if you want this in audio version, man, I am off right now, bro. If you want this in audio version, you can get this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I feel like I'm trying to go at like a million miles a minute right now, so let me just slow down, chill,
Slow
and get it.
roll.
Yeah. And this is the Entertainment Plaza Games, a weekly video game podcast. So today we have like 4 stories. It's a short one today. 4 stories on the Plaza Report. We got 2 stories that involve PlayStation. We have 2 stories that involve Nintendo. With the first story today, PlayStation Plus game trials. I don't know if you heard this or not, but Sony just came out with some regulations for the new tiers of PlayStation Plus. So the highest tier now is going to require developers that have their games on there to have a 2-hour trial of their game. Now, initially, a lot of people were saying, well, this is going to put a lot more work for a developer to add this 2-hour demo, because it's not just as simple as saying, okay, 2-hour timer and it stops. It does take a lot more than just, adding a button, so to speak, to stop it at the 2-hour mark. I'm going to read this story here. It's from GameSpot.com, where Gabe Gerwin says, though games at or above $34 will apparently require time trials for PlayStation Plus premium members in the future, Sony will reportedly be taking care of producing these on its own, which is good for developers, meaning developers shouldn't have any extra pre-launch work on their end. This is according to Kotaku's Ethan Gatch, who was told that the PlayStation Store team will be responsible for creating these 2-hour trials. The policy, which leaked yesterday after apparently popping up on a developer portal meant for PlayStation partners, states that games priced at $34 and up will need a 2-hour time trial version, which must be available for at least a year to PlayStation Plus premium members. This is separate from a game demo. It's a chance for players to do whatever they want in a game in that limited window. However, the time trial does not have to be ready at launch. It can be released up to 3 months after the game has released. There's the risk that certain games, particularly short, linear games that may still carry a higher price tag, could be completed during this window. It's something we've seen with the even less restrictive Steam refund program, giving players a chance to try a game for 2 hours and return it, regardless of its price. So, basically, the initial story was any game $34 or above on PlayStation has to have a 2-hour demo. What does that mean? There's a lot of indie games that, I've beaten games. There's games I've beaten 2, 3, 4 hours. So even if it's a 6-hour game, which a lot of, in the past AAA linear narrative games, they could be 6, 7 hours where you beat the game like a Call of Duty. You can beat a Call of Duty campaign easily in 6 or 7 hours. Now require that 2-hour demo. Initially, it was thought that developers were going to have to put that demo in themselves, but now Sony's saying that they're going to take care of that on their end, which is great for developers, because a lot of indie developers really probably couldn't afford to add this additional cost to their development cycle, I should say. How do you feel about these demos? I have my thoughts. I want to get your thoughts first about the having to have a 2-hour demo for any game, $34 or above, regardless of who you are, regardless of how long your game is, you have to have this demo. What are your thoughts?
Well, for starters, I definitely feel like it is 100% a good and bad thing. Obviously, for indie games, that could completely ruin them. Short games and stuff like that, and you're forced to have 2 hours worth of a demo. I mean, what else is, the consumer really going to see out of that game? If the game is only, 5 hours long, why spend the $35 to play a 2-hour demo to get 3 hours of content that might not even be all that great?
Exactly.
Now for the really big games, hey Chico.
I'm like, what the heck is going on? Hey, this is the Entertainment Plaza mascot, Kiko.
Yeah. But for larger games, that could definitely be beneficial. Games that are closer to, maybe 12, 13, 14 hours long. You get 2 hours out of that, and you're like, wow, this is a really big game. I'm looking forward to what might, happen later on. Maybe this is actually worth the money. So that could definitely draw in the consumer. But it's definitely it'll definitely be hard for indie games. I can definitely see that, make or breaking them.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So it's definitely a good and a bad thing. I personally, I'm going to get the premium subscription. I don't know how long I'll have it. I'll try it out for a few months. I love this idea of a 2 hour demo. I remember back in the 360 days, and I don't know if you remember, but they had that you had to have, if you had Xbox Live, all the games had to have a 1 hour demo back on the 360. Like every single game that came out for a long time. I'm not sure or remember when they did away with that, but every single game had to have a 1 hour demo. It didn't necessarily have to be at the beginning of the game. It was anything the developer wanted to show you. They could have thrown you in the middle of the game, towards the end. They don't know, something to kind of bring
Right.
you in. So if I'm paying for this premium subscription, I love that idea because there are games, again, not to bring up Elden Ring again, but it's the most popular game on earth right now. If I can play 2 hours of that and be like, all right, let me try this out because I'm not sure if I like a Souls game, especially that one, which is going to take 100 hours to beat. 2 hours of
Right.
it, one, for that game isn't going to be enough to tell me if I'm going to like it or not. But I think it'll be enough to be like, all right, I'm digging this or I'm not digging it, and I don't have to worry about spending $60 on it.
Yep.
But yeah, again, it's only 30 games that are $34 and up. So my thing is, most of the indie games that I've purchased, not one has been over $34. You know what I mean? Most indie games are going to be. I mean, there's games, $6.99, $2.99. I think the most I've ever seen an indie game just from searching is like $24.99. So there aren't
Yeah.
too many instances where they're going to have to worry about that $34 price point. The other question is, say there is a game, a developer's going to put it out, and it's $38 to $39. Do they now say, well, is this demo going to hurt me because my game might actually be bad, and if they play 2 hours and they may not want to purchase it, or do I just lower it to $33.99 and don't have to worry about a
Yeah.
demo? They purchase it, they're stuck with it. So um, I personally like it. I love that I can literally boot up any game I'd like and try the demo. It's almost like Xbox Game Pass where there's, you know, 300 games at my fingertips and I can download it. If I don't like it, I delete it and move on to the next one. This one isn't as extensive as Game Pass, but I definitely think it's a good thing. I did read somewhere where they said that um, Sony will definitely listen to developers and say, I don't want to put a 2 hour demo out, but I like to make a demo specifically for this game for your audience that they can play. Say maybe it's a 45-minute or an hour demo, but it's very specific to show them what this game's about, as opposed to starting from minute 1 to minute 120. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I think it's a good thing. I'm definitely going to pick up the PlayStation Plus Premium here in a month or two, whenever I actually have time to sit down and do this. But I definitely think it's going to be a good thing, and we shall see. It was something where I was struggling. Do I do the middle tier or do I go to premium? And I think this is something that kind of sold me because now I'm going to try games that normally I wouldn't try. You know what I mean? One
Right.
being Elden Ring. I'm definitely, if that's part of that, that's going to be the first game I'm going to try out. So moving on to story number 2. PlayStation has set up a new game preservation department. Now, this story is near and dear to my heart because as you can see, it kind of a little bit right there, yeah, right there, a little bit, right there, right there. I have a bunch of games, you know what I mean, and uh, physical media these days, it's going away. We're in an age where digital media means everything. I still even buy my Blu-rays and my 4K, and I stream. Don't get me wrong, but I love my physical media.
Yeah.
This article essentially is telling me that Sony cares about preserving their old games. You know who doesn't care? Nintendo. Because they are shutting down their eShops for like the Wii U, for the Wii, Nintendo 3DS,
Yeah.
and there's games on there that if you haven't downloaded recently, they're going to be gone
They're
forever.
gone.
Yeah. So it's like you're SOL at this point.
Yep.
So basically, this story is by Darren. I don't even know the last name. Bontes, Bontoys.
Lumpy.
We're going to say Darren. Darren from GameSpot.com. He says Sony's preservation team has been revealed by a new hire. It says PlayStation has reportedly set up new preservation team. My goodness. Yo, I'm tired. Should we just end this right now? Nah, I'm going. PlayStation has
No.
reportedly set up new preservation team. According to an employee who just joined it, build engineer for Canadian mobile developer Cabum Garrett Fredley celebrated his new position as senior build engineer for PlayStation on his Twitter and LinkedIn pages. He says, "Today is my first day as senior build engineer for PlayStation, working as one of their initial hires for the newly created preservation team." Fredley wrote, as spotted by VGC. "Game preservation was my first career passion. It was my first foray into the world of software engineering and development ops, and into a world that so many are unaware of. I was just a novice back then, contributing in any way I could, regardless of my inexperience. Now I'm back to it, no longer the novice I once was." Sony, the article goes on to say, Sony hasn't divulged any other details on its preservation team or the goals of the group, but Fredley's credits, Fredley's credits do include work at EA from 2016 to 19 that saw him lead preservation efforts for the FIFA franchise. This is great, man, because that is going to show us, one, it's probably going to play into PlayStation Plus Premium, but you get the PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP games. You don't get Vita, I don't believe. But that's Sony telling us that they care about these games that started way back in the 90s with the PS1. There's going to be games, we're going to be able to play these games that probably, if I want to play say like a Silent Hill or the original Resident Evil, those games are 80, 90, $100 these days,
Yep.
I can go and Sony's going to allow me to play these games digitally or download them. So unlike Nintendo, where they're like, well, if you don't have it downloaded, that's it. You're SOL, and you're probably never going to be able to play them again. Xbox does. They're actually really good at game preservation as well with their backwards compatibility. So, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the game preservation and Sony taking a leap and presumably, caring for the consumer?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just like you. I like collecting a lot of physical media. So it's kind of sad to know that eventually they're just, we might not be able to get um discs for some of our old games
Right.
anymore. But um it's comforting to know that in the future I'll still be able to play some of the, originals that I loved, just in case I didn't, got rid of them by accident at the time, or just never had the time to actually go and grab it. Um so that's definitely something that, I would look forward to. Um because I mean there's so many games that I would have loved to have kept now,
Yeah.
that I unfortunately got rid of years ago because I was like, who needs this? And now I don't have them, and maybe I can play them again. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I remember times where I had, somehow I acquired like a Nintendo 64. I think I had like 40 or 50 games. At the time, I wasn't really collecting. I know I got it. I don't remember how, but I sold it on eBay, and I didn't get much. I mean, this was years. This is probably 20 years ago. So now I'm at the point where I'm struggling to collect Nintendo 64 games, which is my favorite system to collect because they're so expensive. I mean, I got probably all the colors, but I don't have all the games, which is
Yeah.
like 296 of them. So, yeah, Nintendo has Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack and all that, but you know, I feel like they do that for the money. They're not doing that for the love of the video game or for the preservation of that video game, because a lot of
Yeah.
them are at times very different from what we're used to. Now, granted, that may be the same thing with PlayStation, where we're going to be on their premium subscription and be able to access these older games, but it's going to be at the best that they ever been. We'll be able to play it possibly at 1080p or 4K. We won't need a CRT TV to play it at you know at its maximum. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for this. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this newly found preservation team and preservation efforts that they have. um, you know, at the end of the day, Nintendo, come on, man, you're falling behind. Well, like always, they're always falling behind. Don't get me wrong;
Yeah.
they got great games, but when it comes to stuff like this, Xbox and PlayStation always seems to care for the consumer a bit more than Nintendo. But
Definitely.
story number three, that one goes to you.
All right, so we're gonna start off here with our first little batch of Nintendo news. As everybody knows, Super Mario movie, or if you didn't know, Super Mario movie was slated for release this year, December 21st. Unfortunately, it is now going to be released April of 2023, so it got delayed until next year. This does come from GameSpot.com. The film will debut on April 7th in North America before going to Japan on April 28th of 2023. So we actually get to see it first.
Yeah.
Um, Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto said of the delay, "My deepest apologies, but I promise it will be well worth the wait." Nintendo of America also went to Twitter and put out a statement, and this was Miyamoto speaking. He goes, "This is Miyamoto. After consulting with Chris San, my partner at Illumination on the Super Mario Bros. Film, we decided to move the global release to spring 2023, April 28th in Japan and April 7th in North America. My deepest apologies, but I promise it will be well worth the wait." Chris San is a producer from Illumination Entertainment. His name is Chris Melandadri, I believe. Which formalities and stuff like that. That's why they call him Chris San.
Yeah.
Um, the Mario movie does have a big cast of famous names. One of which being Chris Pratt as Mario. Now, Chris Pratt's history in a lot of movies lead me to believe that it has been delayed because of him. He ruined Endgame because why would you attack Thanos like that, you idiot?
Oh my god,
Anyways,
I forgot about that.
yeah. Anya Taylor Joy is Peach, and my favorite Jack Black is Bowser.
Yeah.
Chris Martinet, who voices Mario in the video games, will actually be having cameos. Um, Very little is known about the story or any type of specifics, but the voice of Luigi, Charlie Day, confirmed in February that he had begun recording lines for the film, but he can't say more. He went on to say, "I'd love to tell you all about it, but they are top secret with this stuff. Absolutely, this is some serious stuff." He says, "Again, I know nothing. I show up and they're like, you say this, you say that. It's all funny and good. I walk out and there's these two guys with overalls and hammers that are like, 'Don't you tell nobody about this, Charlie. I swear we're going to get your kneecaps and we're going to break your neck.'"
That's
So it
hilarious.
seems like they are very, very serious on, any type of anything on this movie getting leaked. They want to keep it, as close as possible to their group without leaking anything. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm not surprised it's delayed. Like anything else in this world, who knows why it was delayed? But I feel like I read somewhere. I don't know if it was today or if it was a podcast or an article I read, but that it was because of Chris Pratt and another um, movie that he's doing. So it was hard to do both, which I understand. It happens. And Chris Pratt right now he's popular, so he has you know um,
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. He has Jurassic Park. He has this now, so I could see him, taking on a little bit too much, and this had to be delayed. I'm okay with this being delayed. I mean, one of my favorite, and as you know, Miles Morales is my favorite superhero. His movie just got delayed to 2023, and that one actually I was a little bit disappointed because, man, I can't wait for that. But this one, like you said, it has a great cast. I'm not sure how I feel. Well, I can't tell you how I feel about the movie, but I'm not very optimistic. Like, I'm keeping my hopes down because let's face it, not too many video game adaptations are great. Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, they were actually good. They borderline from good to great to me, as far as a video game adaptation. What was it? The Uncharted movie that was pretty good too. I liked it a lot. I hated what's his name because he's a horrible actor, Mark Wahlberg. But besides that, the movie was great. And like you said, the cast. I mean, even Seth Rogen, he's Donkey Kong. Keegan Michael Key is Toad. You got Sebastian Maniscalco, who, if you don't know him, he's a comedian. He has a few things on Netflix. He's Spike. You know, it's like Fred Armisen, Cranky Kong. Like those are some big names to be voicing these, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
characters. I'm still wondering, is it going to be all animated, or is it going to be something along the lines of like, you know, Ready Player One? I think you and I discussed this before, which I wouldn't be mad. But again, Chris Pratt, that's like the one that scares me. Like, has he done one? Has he done voice acting before? And two, can he do Mario? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
bring back what's his face from the Mario movie back in the days. You know, the live action one. Man, that was horrible too. But um,
I
if
mean,
you haven't
what can you
watched
really
it, go
expect?
watch it, man. If you haven't watched that yet, go watch it. But you know, it is what it is. In this day and age, you almost have to expect delays. I mean, every single Marvel movie has been delayed. You know, we're kind of getting back on
Yeah,
to, you know, kind of how do I put it, to normalcy with them, but it really isn't, because a lot of these movies were supposed to come out last year or the year before. So, you know, we got Doctor Strange coming out next week. Can't wait. We're going to that. We got Thor coming out in July, I believe, and Black
yep,
Panther later this year. So we're getting our slate of movies back, and games are coming out slowly but surely. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, all right, so I got the lead. Whatever. It's a Mario movie that we're not too excited about, but I'll definitely go probably see it day one, if not, you know, the first weekend. So see what
I
happens.
definitely will.
Yeah.
Yep. So, on then to our next story, also Nintendo related. This is actually going to be Pokemon
Oh,
related. Surprise,
Pokemon! What?
surprise. Uh, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl did undergo maintenance April 25th, which was 2 days ago. Many thought it to be the release of Pokemon Home for the games, but
Mm,
for the amount of time maintenance was, it was approximately, I believe, 2 hours, I believe. It seems more likely that they were preparing the servers for the eventual compatibility of Pokemon Home. If you guys don't know what Pokemon Home is, it is similar to what Pokemon Bank used to be. You can get Pokemon from your games that you can't trade um, between, so like different generation type games. Um, you can then put them in from, take them from your game, put them into Pokemon Home, and then from Pokemon Home, you can then transfer them to then your new gen game.
mm,
Um, so it makes it, pretty easy if you have like a, OP starter team or something like that. You don't want to get rid of them, max stats, stuff like that. You can easily just transfer them then to your new games without any issues at all. The issue was, since Diamond and Pearl are remakes of the original games, obviously they're not going to have the compatibility, because they are like starting off at like Gen 3, I believe, all the way up to what it's like Gen 8, I
mm.
believe. So there's that huge gap there.
Well, right now,
Um,
what? Right now is the start of Gen 9, right? With Scarlet and Violet? Or is
yeah,
it
I believe
start
so.
of Gen 8?
I think it's Gen 9. Scarlet
Okay.
and Violet's Gen 9.
Gotcha.
Um, Now, speaking on Scarlet and Violet, Nintendo of UK did put up a sign up for Scarlet and Violet news. Regular newsletters, if you've signed up for them by Nintendo, can be a bit randomized and can give you some uninteresting things, because they give you like everything,
Yeah.
anything from Pokemon Unite to Pokidoko to anything that comes out. This is news specifically for Scarlet and Violet. So if you don't want to be involved with any of the other Pokemon news, I definitely recommend heading over to the Nintendo UK website and signing up for that newsletter. You will be getting information sent to you directly to your email, and it will, like I said, only be about Scarlet and Violet. Um, More on that, there have been some apparent leaks four final starter evolutions. The first being Fuecoco, and the second one being Quaxley. Now, these leaks are confirmed fake. I would like to emphasize this because a lot of people
Mm,
are going to see it. A lot of people are going to share it around, and it's going to become, a huge talk. These are fake. Um, a fan art of Quaxley was put out, of his final evolution that actually gives him the look of Josuke Higashikata from
What you call
JoJo's
me?
Bizarre Adventure. You heard me, Higashikata. If uh,
Shit.
if you guys know who Josuke is, or if you've seen JoJo at all, actually has the hairstyle of Josuke. So I can see why they kind of gave him that look, that fabulous, flamboyant Josuke look for his final evolution, because there is a lot of resemblance. Um, Fuecoco's final evolution gave it like a weird alligator fairy type looking thing. It was really, really like thrown off. It said it had like two different, like an attack mode and its regular. It was really, really weird. If you really look at the picture, they said that it was a drawing of the final Evos, but if you take a real close look, the original photo does have a mirror glass cursor like hidden off onto the side, so you can definitely tell that they're
Mm,
just kind of scrolling on Google, zooming in on the
gotcha.
picture and stuff like that. Um, and then the Chinese team that did give us the information on Legends Arceus, that were true about all that, um, have has had confirmed credible information on the new Scarlet and Violet games. That was the information that I did speak on. Welcome back, Kiko.
Yep. Welcome back.
Um, that was all the information that I did speak on our last gaming video. So if you guys don't know too much about that, I would definitely go back, watch that first, get caught up on that, and then come on back here. Um, like
And
I
that
said,
was
they
a
were the
lot of
same.
information. So definitely
Yeah,
go back and listen. Like I said, on Spotify, YouTube, whatever. I mean, Brian had a lot of great information, especially if you're a Pokemon fan, like Catsley here. You know, there's
yeah.
a lot of good information.
Yep. So it seems like I said, those were some really credible leaks, which do involve like changing typings and stuff like that. Like I said, if you want more, if any of you guys want more of that information, head back to that last video. Um, Now, or I should say, our last gaming video, because we
Right,
do
right.
have something in between. Now, a little side note, and this could affect us, the entertainment plaza. Twitch may reduce the revenue split for its partnered streamers.
Wow.
So, if we do become an affiliate later on in the hopefully near future, um, it would mean that Twitch would get 50% of our revenue. They would make it a 50-50
Hmm.
split, which usually they have it a 70-30 split, 70 to
Wow.
the creator, 30 to Twitch.
That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, it does seem a bit unfair, especially to us, like the content creators and
Right,
stuff like that, because we are doing all the work
right.
and Twitch is just profiting from it. Um, Now, you know,
No, I get it.
most
Like on the back end, yes, they have it's their servers they got to maintain. They got, there's a lot in the background that people don't see. Is it works
right,
flawlessly for us because there's a lot of people on their end that are doing the work. But without us, there's no them. You know what I mean?
ex-
So
exactly. So, the majority of Twitch's competitors are with that normal 70-30 split. This upset could legitimately cause a lot of Twitch streamers to move from the Twitch platform and go back to YouTube.
yeah,
There was a lot of, issues with YouTube in the beginning with, their people, their content creators, their streaming. So a lot of people moved to Twitch. Nobody knows why Twitch is taking this route. It seems like they're just kind of going back um, a little bit. And this, like as I had said, this is a bit of an upset to a lot of people. Blaines on YouTube and Twitch said that they have already done this to him as of last year. He's only been an affiliate for a year. Um, they immediately put him on the 50-50 split. He got up to 4,000 Twitch subscribers and complained that, the split should be different. He should be getting more of the profit. and stuff like that. And he has said that on countless occasions, Twitch has either ignored him or given him some really outlandish excuses that don't make much sense. He said that he's been
Yeah.
fighting with their team this entire time to see if he could get more of the profit for him since he is bringing in more people to the platform. Um,
So I'm actually reading
so,
a article now from
mhm,
HyperX Gaming, and it says that the report suggests one. I forgot that Amazon owns Twitch, so
yeah,
that's Jeff Bezos right there. I mean, this guy's money hungry, so I can see that already. But it says Twitch is looking at reducing the revenue split from 50-50 for tier 1 subs, 60-40 tier 2, 70-30 at tier 3 in favor of the streamer to a flat 50-50 across the board. Um, as most subscriptions are the basic tier 1, these changes are likely only to affect larger streamers. So this is probably like a ninja type thing where it's really going to affect him, but for us, it probably won't affect us too much until inevitably we make it to the top and we can
right,
retire, at 40 years old. But it says that this could be just a standardizing of the business. Other changes being considered at the streaming site include incentives for streamers to run more ads on the platform, which that kind of makes sense. They're going to lower your, you know, how much you get to 50-50 as opposed to 70-30 or 60-40. But if you want to make more money, throw more ads on your channel. So that's probably why they're doing that, so that you do throw more ads, you get more
right.
money, they get more money on that sense too. But it's probably always going to benefit Twitch more so than anybody else. Um, it says that, let's see, where was I? It says other changes being considered at the streaming site include incentives for streamers to run more ads on the platform, as well as a partnership program structured into different tiers with set criteria on qualifying for each. It also says the upside of these potential changes is that Twitch is also weighing up their exclusivity clauses with partner streamers, freeing them up to extending and diversifying their audience across YouTube or Facebook. So that also helps. They're allowing you. Obviously, there's you sign a contract with Twitch. You only
Right,
stream
right.
on Twitch. Like Ninja left Twitch and went to Mixer. Mixer fell off with Microsoft. He went back to Twitch, and at that time he couldn't stream anywhere else but Mixer. Prior to that, he couldn't stream anywhere else but Twitch. So it looks like if they do this 50-50 across the board, that will also come with allowing you to stream on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere you want. You don't have to be exclusive with Twitch, which could actually all help. Um,
Yep.
it
Big
may
benefit.
not necessarily help you more because it'll probably just put you right back to 70-30 money as opposed to 50
Right.
50 money. But um, it says it's a considered move as top streamers who aren't happy about the potential reduction from tier 3 subs may be enticed away, like you said, to other services with better revenue splits. YouTube in particular offers a 70-30 split for subscribers itself. So you might be right. I mean, at the end of the day, if you are, say, signed to Twitch and they allow you to go to YouTube, one, you're still going to go to Twitch. You're still going to stream
Right.
there. You know what I mean? You're going to get whatever. You're going to suck as much money out of Twitch as you can, but you're probably going to be mainly on YouTube. So, um, it says Bloomberg's report suggested these changes could be implemented as soon as this summer, though which of the proposed options is yet to be finalized. So, yeah, that's interesting, man. I didn't know anything about that, so I looked it up quick, but it's interesting to see. I mean, the good thing is that we really don't have to worry about that because we're making negative
Yeah.
$100,000 a year. But hopefully soon we will have to worry about something like this. And
Yeah.
it's funny you mentioned that because yeah, right now we are on Twitch, but I've been fighting with, man, should we just go live on YouTube? Because I'm putting it on YouTube anyways. But at the
Right.
end of the day, it's best to be on as many platforms as you can. And if Twitch is going to allow you to just, go anywhere and you don't have to be exclusive with them, the hell with it. Why not? You know what I mean?
So be it.
So,
Yep.
but my bad. I didn't mean to steal your story there, but I found it really
No, you're good.
interesting about, what the heck they're doing with that. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, that was really good that, it added on to that final story. That was legitimately the last of the information that I did have. That gave everybody else, the information that they needed that
yeah.
what I was lacking. So if any of you guys that are watching are also Twitch streamers, definitely take a look out if you're an affiliate because this could be affecting you sometime in the near future, or it
Yeah,
couldn't be.
very soon.
Um, yeah, so like I said, just keep a big eye out and don't be afraid to do that big switch if you need to make that money that you deserve. Um, but like I said, that's the last of my information. So if you don't have anything else,
Well, I don't have any other news, but I just saw that the embargo is lifted for Nintendo Switch Sports. So I know you have a Wii. I have like seven of them, and Nintendo Wii Sports was like revolutionary. You know,
yeah,
back in the day, playing with the nunchuck and all that. But there are some reviews. I have a little bit of a review roundup here for that game. GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10, which is I think it's actually amazing for that type of game. They say Nintendo Switch Sports is at its core the same as Wii Sports was all those years ago. A game in which you swing your arms around and reenact a sport. If you're a Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort veteran, the feeling of tennis, bowling, or sword fighting would be second nature, even with the addition of new sports like volleyball and soccer. There's very little innovation in what Switch Sports attempts to do, and I think that's a good thing. The game doesn't feel like it's trying to revitalize a trend. Instead, it recaptures the simplicity of the original and in doing so rekindles the same magic. It's straightforward, unadulterated, and above all, approachable, which is good. So that means our grandparents can play them. So Polygon, they didn't give it a score. It's a review in progress, but they say the game is a blast with other people, whether they love video games or, like my spouse, have no interest whatsoever. It captures that feeling of the Wii at its best. Just kind of rounding that one off. IGN also gave it a 7 out of 10. Let's see. Inverse gave it an 8 out of 10. It says intuitive, responsive motion control successfully recaptured the easygoing magic of the Wii's heyday, and will likely make Switch Sports a family game night staple, and chart topper for years to come. That said, the experience is held back slightly by the absence of golf at launch and a lack of accessibility options. Man, 8 out of 10. First reading this, I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna buy this game. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want Switch Sports? I barely play my Switch as it is. Why would I want
right.
this? But then I read that and it says, game night or family game night. I'm like, you know what? This past Sunday, my wife had her family over and we're playing Mario Kart. We're playing Mario Party. This game would be dope for that. You know what I mean? When you have friends over, your family over, especially if it's older people again that they don't play video games like we do.
Yeah,
I think I might grab it. I mean, definitely we're trying to catch up to all the time we missed during COVID with family time and friend time. This
for
might be
sure.
one to put on there. So I know that golf they don't have golf right now, but I heard it is coming out. I think in June or July, it's going to be a free DLC that you can have for golf. Which that actually probably should have been a day one thing because golf was so integral in the first one. But yeah, man, just wanted to bring that up and kind of give you a little bit of a review roundup on that one. But if you don't have anything else, we good? All right, cool. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, this will be up on youtube.com/the entertainment plaza in about an hour. It'll be up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any podcast service around the globe. So you can listen to it there. And I'd say about an hour or two as well. But for Brian, I'm Moses. Peace out.